Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have a great lesson for all our upper intermediate students.
That's right. We're talking about airplane travel today.
Airplane travel, right? So we're going to be in an airplane, basically.
Yes. And we're going to be listening to some of the common things you might hear on an announcement in the airplane.
Yeah, usually the flight attendant or the captain will come on and say something and, well, usually it's in English, so we got to understand what they're saying.
That's right. And we'll also learn some great phrases that you can use when you want to describe flights to your friends when you're talking to them.
Yeah, that always happens. You arrive somewhere and people are like, hey, how was your flight? Now you know how to answer it. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So why don't we take a look at our vocabulary preview?
Vocabulary preview.
Well, we've got 3 words for you here in vocabulary preview, all about flying.
Okay, so what's our first one?
Turbulence.
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 So turbulence. How can we describe this?
Well, turbulence when you're in an airplane basically is air that is moving in all directions really fast.
Okay, so what happens?
So the airplane will start to shake,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
It's the same thing if you're flying a kite and maybe some turbulence is in the air, your kite will maybe fall to the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's air that's moving in all directions. It's really turbulent.
All right. Well, we'll hear how this word is used in the dialogue. But another airplane word we hear a lot. Crew.
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 Flight crew.
Yes. C-R-E-W. Crew.
So the flight crew is basically the team.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
It's all the people that are in the airplane. So it's basically the captain and the co-pilot.
Yes.
And all the flight attendants, right?
Exactly. Yep.
That's the flight crew.
Yes.
Okay. And what about our last word?
Bumpy ride.
Bumpy ride.
A bumpy ride.
Bumpy.
Not smooth.
Not smooth.
Yep.
So what would be an example of a bumpy ride?
Okay, imagine if you're driving in your car and you're driving on a dirt road, like with many holes in it and everything.
And rocks and everything.
You're driving on that road and it would be really, really bumpy.
Right, so your car will be moving a lot.
Shaking,
Exactly.
Yeah. So a bumpy ride is a trip where you move and shake a lot. It's kind of uncomfortable.
So you can say that is a bumpy road.
Or
Okay.
it was a bumpy
Or
ride.
it was a bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's listen to our dialogue. We're going to be listening to these people on an airplane, and the captain is going to give some instructions.
And the next thing you know, we're running towards the... Oh, did you feel that?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're just going through a bit of turbulence.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. It looks like we've hit a patch of rough air, so we're going to have a bit of a bumpy ride for the next several minutes.
This
And
is why I hate flying.
at this time, I'd like to remind all of our passengers to fasten their seatbelts and remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Please ensure that all cabin baggage is carefully stowed under the seat in front of you. I'll be back to update you in a minute.
Did you hear that? Oh my God, Brent!
Don't worry about it. This is totally normal. It happens all the...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain again. We've got quite a large patch of rough air ahead of us, and so for your safety, we will be suspending in-flight service. I would ask all the in-flight crew to return to their seats at this time. I would also ask that all our passengers refrain from using the lavatory until the seatbelt sign has been switched off. We can expect...
Well, here we are with another dramatic dialogue, another explosion in English Pod. What's happening?
I don't know. A lot of adventure is going on,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. But I'm sure they're all right. Don't worry, everyone. I'm
Well,
sure.
I hope so. It's kind of making me nervous for my next flight.
All right. So let's take a look at some of the words that the captain used in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, all of these words you'll hear really, really often when you're flying. And the first one we have for you is fasten.
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 Fasten your seat belt. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a great word. Fasten means to
Do up.
do up or put on or
Connect.
Connect, right?
Yeah.
So usually it'll be with a seat belt or a belt or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah. Now, the pronunciation here is interesting.
Yes.
It's spelt F-A-S-T-E-N.
Right, so it would be fast N.
No.
No, right?
Fasten.
Fasten. The T
Fasten.
kind of becomes silent. So it's fasten.
Yep.
Okay. Let's look at our next word. Lavatory.
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 Okay, so what is a lavatory exactly? Because I'm always confused. What's the difference between bathroom, restroom, washroom, WC, lavatory?
I know, so many words for bathroom. A lavatory is a room with a toilet and sink only.
Only a toilet and sink. So no
Yes.
bathtub.
No.
So
no
it-
shower either.
No shower. So it's very, very common to find a lavatory in boats, airplanes,
Yep.
and trains.
Yep. But never in your house.
Never in your house, right?
Even if your room in your house is only a sink and a toilet, it's still not a lavatory.
It's a bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just the way it is in English.
And something interesting that you told me today, WC, right? That's a common thing that you'll see on a bathroom.
Yep.
What does that stand for?
Water closet.
Water closet.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Water closet. Okay, anyways, let's take a look at our next word. Stow.
Stow.
To stow.
Yes, stow your luggage.
Stow your luggage. So if I stow my luggage, it means
You put it in a place where you can get it easily, but it is very safe.
maybe it's not even visible, right?
Yeah, so you put it away in a safe spot.
Okay. So usually in airplanes, they will tell you to stow your luggage under your seat.
Yes, or stow your luggage in the overhead bin.
Overhead bin or overhead compartment.
Yes.
Okay. And our last word,
Refrain.
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 Refrain from doing something.
So this is a verb meaning avoid doing.
Avoid doing. Do not do.
Exactly.
Something interesting about this grammar-wise is it's usually followed by from,
Yeah.
refrain from, and the verb that follows is always gerund, right?
Yeah, so refrain from ing.
Right. Refrain from using the lavatory.
Yes, refrain from smoking.
Refrain from smoking. Okay. So refrain from.
Yep.
All right, so some really great examples in language takeaway.
Yep.
And, well, now let's take a look at Fluency Builder and see some of these great phrases.
Fluency Builder.
All right, 3 phrases we have for you here. The first one, remain seated.
Remain seated.
Remain seated.
Remain seated. So to remain seated,
Really simple. To stay sitting.
to stay on your seat, don't stand up.
Yes.
This is really important in airplanes, right?
Yeah, because otherwise, if there's turbulence, you could, end up flying around the airplane.
Or fall,
Yeah.
exactly, and hurt yourself. Remain seated.
Now, one of the reasons they had to remain seated was because they were going to go through a patch of rough air.
Patch of rough air.
So patch.
Now, interesting. Okay, so patch is a small area, right?
Yeah. So a small area of turbulence.
A small area of turbulence. Now, what would be another example of patch?
Maybe a patch of strawberries.
So it's like a little strawberry garden, right?
Yes. Or a patch of grass.
Patch of grass. Usually in front of your house, you'll have a little patch of grass.
Yep.
Okay, so patch of. And now our last phrase, suspend.
Suspend.
Suspend in-flight service.
Yeah. So stop for a short time.
Stop for a short time. So you could suspend your work.
Yeah. And if you're going on vacation, you could suspend your subscription to the newspaper.
Okay, so suspend to temporarily stop.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of vocabulary and some great phrases. So why don't we listen to our dialogue one more time and we'll come back and talk about flying.
And the next thing you know, we're running towards the... Oh, did you feel that?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're just going through a bit of turbulence.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. It looks like we've hit a patch of rough air, so we're going to have a bit of a bumpy ride for the next several minutes.
This
And
is why I hate flying.
at this time, I'd like to remind all of our passengers to fasten their seatbelts and remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Please ensure that all cabin baggage is carefully stowed under the seat in front of you. I'll be back to update you in a minute.
Did you hear that? Oh my God, Brent!
Don't worry about it. This is totally normal. It happens all the...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain again. We've got quite a large patch of rough air ahead of us, and so for your safety, we will be suspending in-flight service. I would ask all the in-flight crew to return to their seats at this time. I would also ask that all our passengers refrain from using the lavatory until the seatbelt sign has been switched off. We can expect...
Erica, have you ever had a turbulent flight like this?
No, never this bad. A little bit of turbulence. Actually, I kind of like turbulent flights.
Why?
It's sort of like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. You get shaken around, and your like stomach moves up and down. And
You don't
it's
get
like,
nervous?
No, I get a little excited.
Well, it is true that flying is actually very, very safe, right?
Yeah, I know we all hear that like more people are killed in car accidents than flight accidents. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very safe. So yeah, I don't worry about the turbulence.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, so flying is really safe, and as long as you remain seated, you fasten your seatbelt, and you follow the instructions, you shouldn't have any problems.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Actually, that's a really good point, because actually, when I was reading about flight turbulence for this dialogue, I kept reading all these stories about these people who, when they got into some turbulent air, were, knocked over, or they ended up like actually literally flying through the cabin and getting really badly hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone, you gotta fasten your seatbelt.
Yes, remain seated.
Yeah. Flying tips here at English Pod.
Flying tips at English Pod. We don't want you to get hurt. And we know that you travel a lot, so be safe, right?
Yeah, and use this language to describe your flight.
Okay.
Air travel has its own rhythm. You wait, you board, you settle in, and you hear a short announcement. The words can feel fast. The tone can feel serious. With a few key terms, the whole message feels clearer. Your ears catch the main points. Your mind stays steady. Your body stays relaxed. One common word is turbulence. It means the air is not smooth. The plane may shake. Some people feel nervous. Some people stay calm. The key is to recognize the word and stay focused. A small shake can happen. A longer shaky moment can happen. The word helps you name it. Another phrase you may hear is a bumpy ride. That phrase is simple and vivid. It tells you the motion may continue for a short time. It tells you the flight crew expects movement. It tells you the cabin will not feel smooth. When you hear it, you can adjust your posture and stay still. Safety language repeats in a clear pattern. A big one is fasten your seatbelt. The sound of fasten is smooth, and the spelling can look tricky. On a plane, the meaning is direct. It means connect the belt and keep it closed. It also links to the seatbelt sign above your row. The seatbelt sign is an icon, and it can change during the flight. You can watch it. You can also hear a reminder about it. In modern travel, you may see the same message on a screen, in the airline app, or on a text alert. The idea stays the same in every format. You also hear remain seated. This phrase sounds formal, yet it is easy. It means stay in your seat. It means keep your body stable. It means wait for the sign to change. It is a clear instruction. It fits short announcements, and it fits quick reminders from the flight crew. Airplanes also have special words for bags. You may hear cabin baggage. That means the bags you bring with you into the cabin. This includes a small suitcase, a backpack, or a tote. The announcement focuses on placement. The focus is order, space, and safety. The word stow is common here. It means put the bag away in a safe place. On flights, you stow items under the seat or in the overhead bin. The overhead bin is the space above your head. It opens and closes. It holds bags. It keeps the aisle clear. The aisle is the path people walk through in the cabin. Announcements often connect the aisle with safety. Clear paths matter during boarding and during landing. Clear paths also matter when the cabin is moving. A clean aisle reduces stress and reduces bumps with bags or legs. Another word that appears is crew. You may hear flight crew, cabin crew, or in-flight crew. The word crew means the team working on the plane. It includes the people who guide boarding, check safety, and support passengers. The crew uses clear phrases and a steady tone. Sometimes the crew pauses service. You might hear suspend in-flight service. The key idea is temporary. The carts stop moving. Drinks and snacks pause. The cabin becomes quieter. The crew focuses on stability. Passengers focus on staying seated and keeping their items secure. You may also hear the word refrain. It sounds formal, yet the meaning is simple. It means do not do something for a period of time. It can apply to standing up, using devices in certain moments, or opening bins. It can apply to moving around during rough air. A common place where refrain appears is with the lavatory. Lavatory is a travel word for a small bathroom on planes and trains. Announcements may ask passengers to avoid the lavatory for a short time. The message is about safety and movement, not comfort or style. Modern airplane life includes screens and notifications. Some airlines send alerts in an app about gate changes, boarding groups, and arrival times. Some passengers take screenshots of the boarding pass. Some people keep the phone on airplane mode and still use offline notes, music, and downloaded videos. The language of travel also appears before you sit down. At the gate, you may hear boarding group numbers. On the phone, you may see a push notification. In a message, you may see a gate update. The same calm English helps in all these places, not only in the cabin. Once seated, many people organize quickly. They place cabin baggage, put headphones on, and check the seatbelt. They might open a book or start a playlist. They might send a short text before airplane mode. The goal is comfort and calm with simple actions. During a bumpy ride, calm habits matter. Stay still. Keep your hands close. Keep your feet grounded. Keep your mind on the instruction words. You can watch the seatbelt sign. You can breathe slowly. You can keep your shoulders loose. The language supports the routine. After a flight, people often ask simple questions. They ask how the flight felt. They ask about turbulence. They ask if the ride was smooth. They ask if the crew was helpful. They ask if the airport was crowded. These questions are short, and your answers can stay short too. You can describe a flight in easy English. You can say it was smooth. You can say it was a little bumpy. You can say the crew was friendly. You can say the cabin felt quiet. You can say the service paused for a short time. You can speak clearly without long stories. Air travel also includes planning language. People talk about seats, rows, and boarding time. They talk about carry-on size. They talk about the overhead bin space. They talk about saving a seat for a friend. They talk about keeping the aisle clear. These topics repeat on every trip. In a modern workplace, travel talk happens often. Coworkers talk about a flight in a meeting. Friends talk about a flight in a group chat. Family members ask for an update. The same words appear across all these contexts. Turbulence, bumpy ride, seatbelt, crew, and luggage. This kind of English is practical. It helps you understand real announcements. It helps you describe travel in a clear way. It helps you feel confident in airports, on planes, and after landing. Keep your sentences short, keep your tone calm, and let the key words guide you.
I flew last week, and the captain mentioned turbulence early. I felt a little tense at first, then I listened closely and stayed calm.
I know that feeling. When I hear bumpy ride, I focus on the words and the tone. I fasten my seatbelt and keep my posture steady.
The seatbelt sign turned on, and I saw people still reaching for cabin baggage. That made me nervous. I just stayed seated and watched the overhead bin.
Same here. I stow my bag early, then I relax. I keep my phone away, and I keep my hands clear of straps and zippers.
I like how flight crew members speak. Their voices are calm and clear. Even when the plane moves, the crew keeps the cabin organized.
Yes, that calm tone helps a lot. I look at their faces and their steps. If they walk normally, I feel steady too.
During the bumps, the service stopped. The announcement used suspend, and the cart went back. It felt quiet, and everyone looked forward.
I noticed that too. When service pauses, the cabin feels more still. I keep my seatbelt fastened, even if the sign turns off later.
I also heard refrain in a message on the screen. It asked passengers to refrain from standing. That word sounds formal, yet feels clear.
Right, and it fits travel style. I also hear it with the lavatory. They ask people to wait, and I plan ahead and go early.
Planning ahead helps. I check the gate in the airline app, then I screenshot it. I keep the boarding pass ready, and it reduces stress.
I do that too. I also download music and podcasts. I keep airplane mode on, and I still feel connected to my routine.
When the plane hit rough air, my drink shook. I held the cup, then I put it down. I kept my eyes on the seatbelt sign.
Good move. I avoid open cups when the air feels unstable. I keep my tray clear, and I keep my water bottle closed.
Some passengers open the overhead bin during bumps. That worries me. Bags can shift, and the aisle can get blocked quickly.
Exactly. The aisle needs to stay clear. I keep my essentials in my seat pocket, and I do not touch the overhead bin mid-flight.
I like window seats, yet turbulence feels stronger there sometimes. I still choose it for the view and the quieter feeling.
I prefer aisle seats, yet I stay seated during movement. I like easy access, and I still remain seated when it matters.
The crew asked everyone to stay seated until the sign changed. I noticed how many people relax only after the light turns off.
That light is a clear signal. I watch it, and I also listen for the follow-up message. I keep my seatbelt snug, not tight.
On my last flight, the captain updated us twice. Those updates helped. I like short updates that feel confident and steady.
Updates help me too. I like hearing the plan and the timing. Even a small update makes the cabin feel more controlled.
I also think about language after landing. People ask, how was it? I want simple words like smooth or a bit bumpy.
Yes, short answers work well. You can say it was calm, or you can say it had turbulence. Those words are easy and clear.
When I hear patch of rough air, I picture a small area in the sky. That image helps me accept the movement.
I picture it too. It feels like driving through a rough road area. The phrase is simple, and it explains the next few minutes.
I also notice how announcements say at this time. It sounds official. It helps the message feel organized and structured.
That phrase is common in travel and work. It sounds polite and steady. It also helps non-native listeners catch the message early.
Before boarding, I like to arrange my cabin baggage smartly. I put the heavy items low, and I keep the small items reachable.
I do something similar. I keep a small pouch with headphones and a charger. I keep it in my seat pocket, not the overhead bin.
Speaking of chargers, I bring a battery pack. I keep it under the seat. I avoid reaching up mid-flight for anything.
That is practical. Reaching up during bumps feels risky. I keep my book and tissues close. I keep my drink away from electronics.
I also pay attention to the crew when they sit down. When they return to their seats, I know the turbulence may continue a bit longer.
Exactly. Their movement is a clue. When the crew sits, I stop shifting around. I keep my feet still and my shoulders relaxed.
On social media, I see people joke about bumpy rides. It looks funny online, yet in real life, it can feel intense.
True. Online clips can be dramatic. In the cabin, calm behavior matters. I keep my voice low, and I avoid panicking words.
I used to hate flying. Now I focus on routine. Fasten the seatbelt, stow the bag, remain seated, and listen to updates.
That routine is strong. I also watch my breathing. I keep my jaw relaxed. I keep my hands open, not clenched.
Do you ever talk to seatmates during turbulence? I usually stop talking. I just nod and keep the mood calm.
Same.
I keep conversation short. A simple smile helps. I avoid big gestures, and I avoid leaning into the aisle.
When the seatbelt sign turned off, some people rushed up. I waited. I kept my seatbelt on, and I moved slowly.
That's smart. I wait too. I stretch in my seat first. Then I stand when the aisle clears and the cabin feels stable.
I also learned the word lavatory on flights. I used to say bathroom, and the signs say lavatory in many planes.
Yes, and that word appears in announcements. It's useful to recognize. It sounds formal, yet it is part of travel English.
At the gate, the app sent me a delay notice. I felt annoyed, then I accepted it. Travel changes happen often.
They do. I keep a flexible mindset. I bring snacks and I bring water. I keep my schedule light on travel days.
When the captain speaks, I listen for key verbs. I listen for fasten, remain, stow, and refrain. Those verbs guide actions.
Great strategy. The key verbs carry the meaning. Even if the rest is fast, those verbs tell you what to do right away.
I also like to watch the overhead bin signs. Some planes have lights and icons. It helps passengers understand without many words.
Visual cues help a lot. Icons and lights reduce confusion. They support the spoken message, and they help everyone follow one routine.
My friend asked about my last flight, and I said it was mostly smooth with a short bumpy ride. That felt accurate and simple.
That's a perfect answer. Short and clear. It uses common travel words, and it sounds natural in conversation with friends.
I also mention the crew when they are helpful. I say the crew was kind and calm. That detail feels positive and respectful.
Yes, and it is true often. A good crew sets the tone. Their calm voice, their pace, and their focus help everyone feel safe.
When I travel for work, I practice these words in my head. It helps me understand announcements, even when I feel tired.
Practice helps. I also read safety cards once. It reinforces the words. Then I relax and enjoy the flight without constant worry.
I like to keep my legs clear of bags. I see people crowd the underseat space. I keep it tidy and comfortable.
Same.
I keep one small item under the seat. I keep the rest stowed. A clean space feels calmer and more controlled.
During turbulence, I avoid opening my laptop. I keep it closed. I use audio instead, and it feels easier.
Audio is great on flights. It reduces movement. I keep my headphones ready, and I keep volume moderate to hear announcements.
I also notice how announcements avoid long words. They use simple structure. That helps learners and helps everyone understand fast.
Exactly.
Travel language is designed for clarity. Short instructions, clear verbs, and repeated phrases create a shared understanding in the cabin.
When I hear refrain from using the lavatory, I adjust. I stay seated, and I focus on a calm routine until the sign changes.
Yes, and that mindset makes travel easier. Listen, follow the keywords, and stay steady. With that, even turbulence feels manageable.
Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Sudden, strong movement of air, especially that causes a plane to move up and down in the air.
Turbulence.
Having or causing sudden violent movements.
Rough.
Small area.
Patch.
Having sudden up and down movements.
Bumpy.
Do up. Connect one part with another.
Fasten.
Suitcase and luggage that travels inside the plane with the passengers.
Cabin baggage.
Put something in a place where it is safe but can be accessed easily.
Stow.
Stop something for a short time.
Suspend. Refrain.
A room with a sink and a toilet, chiefly on an airplane or train.
Lavatory.
Luggage, suitcases or bags that travel inside the plane with you.
Cabin baggage.
Place above the seat in an airplane where you can store luggage.
Overhead bin.
A suitcase that you bring onto the plane.
Carry-on.
A table that folds down from the seat in front of you on an airplane.
Table tray.
A piece of clothing that you wear to stay floating in the water.
Life jacket.
A mask worn over your mouth and nose so you can breathe.
Oxygen mask. Let's try that faster.
Having sudden up and down movements.
Bumpy.
Having or causing sudden violent movements.
Rough.
Do up. Connect one part with another.
Fasten.
Suitcase and luggage that travels inside the plane with the passengers.
Cabin baggage. Refrain.
Stop something for a short time.
Suspend.
Small area.
Patch.
A table that folds down from the seat in front of you on an airplane.
Table tray.
Luggage, suitcases or bags that travel inside the plane with you.
Cabin baggage.
Sudden, strong movement of air, especially that causes a plane to move up and down in the air.
Turbulence.
Place above the seat in an airplane where you can store luggage.
Overhead bin.
A suitcase that you bring onto the plane.
Carry-on.
A room with a sink and a toilet, chiefly on an airplane or train.
Lavatory.
Put something in a place where it is safe but can be accessed easily.
Stow.
A mask worn over your mouth and nose so you can breathe.
Oxygen mask.
A piece of clothing that you wear to stay floating in the water.
Life jacket. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Turbulence. There was a lot of turbulence on the flight. Turbulence. I don't think there will be any turbulence on this flight. We'll have a nice trip. Turbulence. We hit some turbulence when we were flying over the Atlantic. Stow. Can you stow this under your desk for me? Stow. Didn't stow your bags. You put them somewhere. Stow. I'll stow your computer under my seat, okay? Patch. We hit a patch of turbulence. Patch. There were some icy patches on the road. Patch. We drove through some foggy patches on the way here. Bumpy. It was a bit of a bumpy ride because the roads were terrible. Bumpy. We might have a bumpy ride because there is a lot of turbulence. Bumpy. It was a long and bumpy ride through the desert. Refrain. Please refrain from smoking until you have left the building. Refrain. I refrained from telling her what I really thought of her. Refrain. Please refrain from using your mobile phone in the hospital.
Hello?
Hey, do you want to go out tonight?
No, I think I'll pass. Mark broke up with me. I feel awful.
What? What happened? Just last week you were talking about going on vacation together.
I don't know what I did wrong. He said he needed some space to figure things out. He said I didn't do anything wrong, that I'm a great person, just not the one for him.
That's so cliche. Mark's not worth your time, Lydia. You deserve so much better.
I know we had hit a rough patch, but I had hoped we could work it out next weekend when we both had some time off. I think he found someone else. I had been getting suspicious because he had been spending a lot of time with a coworker.
Whatever. He's a jerk. Forget about him. There are many more fish in the sea.
Talk about being cliche, Maggie. But you're right. There's no use for me to sulk around. Let's go out tonight.
All right, we're back. So obviously this girl, Lydia, is very torn. She's very sad because her boyfriend broke up with her.
That's right. She's crying the whole time this dialogue was going on.
That's right. So, but she did mention, her and her friend mentioned some interesting things. Why don't we take a look at some of the words they used on Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
So first of all, her friend says, "Hey, do you want to go out tonight?" And what does Lydia say?
She says, "No, I think I'll pass."
All right, I think I'll pass. I will pass. So what does this verb mean, to pass?
So that means she is politely rejecting the offer or the invitation.
So, no thanks.
No thanks. That's basically what it means.
I won't go. So, hey, Marco, you want to go see a movie in a couple hours?
No, I think I'll pass. I got homework to do.
All right, so Marco will not come. That means to decline an invitation.
That's right. So that's what it means, to pass. Now, as they continue to talk, they mention some of the problems with her boyfriend, but Maggie said, "Ugh, that's so cliche."
So the boyfriend said something, and Maggie thinks that what he said was very, very cliche.
So what is something that is cliche?
Cliche means something that is said or done very often. It's almost like we would expect it.
So like, for example, what's a cliche phrase or a cliche action?
Well, in the dialogue, they were talking about ways of breaking up with people. So, for example, it's not you, it's me. Let's break up. So that's a cliche because it's a sentence, it's a phrase everyone always says. It's not very, maybe not very honest.
Okay.
Or like a movie cliche would be, a couple, they're getting married, but their parents, the parents of the bride, they're divorced. They hate each other. But then at the wedding, they get back together. They're going to get married again. That's a cliche story.
That's right.
Because you've heard it before.
Right. All the time. It's very common.
So something that's very common, something that you would expect, that's a cliche. And a cliche, calling something a cliche is not a good thing. It's usually a bad thing.
That's right. Okay. So Maggie goes on to say that, this guy, Mark, her ex-boyfriend, he's not really worth it. She says, "You deserve so much better."
Okay, so to deserve is a verb, and it means that you should receive something, or you should expect something. So, almost like, in this case, you deserve better. You have earned something better. You're a good person. You should receive you should have a good boyfriend.
That's right. So when she says you deserve so much better, she's talking about deserving a better guy, a better man.
Or, for example, so Marco, you work so hard at school. You're always doing your homework. You really deserve good grades. That means you should receive good grades.
Very good. Now, when Lydia said, "Yeah, you know what? I just thought we were having some problems, and we had hit a rough patch." So she's talking about a rough patch. What is that?
A rough patch is actually something we talk about a lot in spoken English. It's a way to describe a period of time, so maybe a week or a month, when things are difficult, when maybe you argue with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or when you're sad a lot, or when you're confused. And so a period of time when you're angry or sad with your boyfriend or girlfriend, that's a rough patch.
So maybe we can apply a rough patch to another situation, like at work. Maybe you're going through a rough patch at work.
That means I'm always busy, I'm always tired, I don't feel happy with my job, I'm going through a rough patch.
So it's usually a temporary period of time where things are going bad.
It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year,
Okay.
but it's a fixed amount of time. It's not forever.
Right.
It's just a period.
Okay, very good. And Lydia went on to say that, she thought that maybe he was going out with someone else, and she was suspicious because he was spending a lot of time with some other girl.
Okay, so to be suspicious is to think that something is happening, but you don't know. So, for example, Marco, I think you've been taking the milk from the kitchen. You are always drinking coffee, and you always take milk in your coffee, and there's no more milk, so I think it was you. I'm being suspicious. I'm thinking that maybe you did something bad or wrong.
That I'm guilty. So maybe you're suspicious that someone is stealing the milk, or maybe you suspect or you're suspicious that your next door neighbor is maybe a car thief.
Right, so you're very suspicious. That means you're always thinking that this person or someone else is doing something bad.
That's right. Okay, so a lot of words there, talking about relationships, talking about cliches. Why don't we go back? Let's listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back in a bit with Fluency Builder.
Hello?
Hey, do you want to go out tonight?
No, I think I'll pass. Mark broke up with me. I feel awful.
What? What happened? Just last week you were talking about going on vacation together.
I don't know what I did wrong. He said he needed some space to figure things out. He said I didn't do anything wrong, that I'm a great person, just not the one for him.
That's so cliche. Mark's not worth your time, Lydia. You deserve so much better.
I know we had hit a rough patch, but I had hoped we could work it out next weekend when we both had some time off. I think he found someone else. I had been getting suspicious because he had been spending a lot of time with a coworker.
Whatever. He's a jerk. Forget about him. There are many more fish in the sea.
Talk about being cliche, Maggie. But you're right. There's no use for me to sulk around. Let's go out tonight.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at some of those phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so Marco, these are cliche phrases that we hear in English when people are breaking up. Okay, so there's some breaking up phrases, but there's also phrases that you might hear from your friend after you have a breakup. Okay, the first phrase we're going to look at, I think, is to need space. So he said he needed some space.
Right, and that's a cliche phrase, as we said, but it means that maybe her ex-boyfriend or Mark needs more space, needs more time to be on his own, or needs more time to do his own things.
That's right. So when you're in a relationship, you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're always together. I need some space means I want to be alone. I don't want to be with my boyfriend or girlfriend. Sometimes this is just a small period. Sometimes it's forever. It depends.
That's right. So when somebody says that they need space, it means they need a little bit of more time to be on their own, or to be alone, as you said. And also, he had also given her another cliche phrase. Mark said that she is not the one for him.
Okay, so the emphasis here is the one.
The one, that's right.
She's not the one for him. So in English, we often talk about the one, and this means the person that you will marry, the love of your life.
Your significant other, your other half.
That's right, and so you hope that you will marry the one. But her boyfriend realized, he said, listen, I like you, but you're not the one.
Right.
You're not the person that I will marry. So this is a phrase you often hear in breakups.
So if you're single, maybe you don't have a boyfriend or you're not married, you might say that you haven't found the one.
Or yeah, you have a lot of different boyfriends, but you still haven't found the one. That means the one you will marry.
That's right. Okay, very good. And now towards the end of the dialogue, Maggie also gives her some advice and said, you know what? Forget about him. There are many more fish in the sea.
Okay, so this is a phrase that we often say when we're trying to make somebody feel better. So the person is sad and we want to make them happy. And so there are many more fish in the sea means that there are other men in the world. Okay,
right.
You're sad. You broke up. I understand. But there are so many other men you could date. So she's trying to say, hey, listen. Look at this world. There's so many different options.
That's right. So it's the similarity of how in the sea you have so many fish, in the world you have so many men, so don't worry about it.
And you can say this about women too. So for example, if I'm talking to my male friend or my brother and my brother just broke up with his girlfriend, I can say, hey, listen, there are many more fish in the sea.
That's
many
right.
other women.
So don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You'll be okay.
And Lydia says, you know what? I think you're right. And there's really no use for me to sulk around. So what does she mean to sulk around?
To sulk. Now, this is something that is very visual for me. I see somebody sulking. Their head is low. They're sad. Someone who is sulking often wears their sweatpants or their pajamas. They don't make
change.
themselves look good. To sulk around means to be in your house, to be sad, to watch TV and eat ice cream. So stop sulking. Don't look sad. Be happy.
Right.
So to sulk is to act sad and to, be very down.
So it's kind of like it's kind of a combination of being lazy and also sad at the same time because something bad happened to you.
Exactly. And so we often say that in English, teenagers like to sulk. Oh, I'm so angry at my parents. And your parents will say, hey, stop sulking. Go study.
Right. That's right. Very good. Okay, so a lot of great phrases here. I think we can go back. Let's listen to this dialogue one last time.
Hello?
Hey, do you want to go out tonight?
No, I think I'll pass. Mark broke up with me. I feel awful.
What? What happened? Just last week you were talking about going on vacation together.
I don't know what I did wrong. He said he needed some space to figure things out. He said I didn't do anything wrong, that I'm a great person, just not the one for him.
That's so cliche. Mark's not worth your time, Lydia. You deserve so much better.
I know we had hit a rough patch, but I had hoped we could work it out next weekend when we both had some time off. I think he found someone else. I had been getting suspicious because he had been spending a lot of time with a coworker.
Whatever. He's a jerk. Forget about him. There are many more fish in the sea.
Talk about being cliche, Maggie. But you're right. There's no use for me to sulk around. Let's go out tonight.
All right, let's jump right into something real. Imagine your friend texts you, do you want to go out tonight? And you want to say yes, but your chest feels heavy, your stomach is tight, and all you can say is, no, I think I'll pass. That one little phrase sounds calm, but inside it can mean, I'm falling apart.
Yeah, and that's why this topic matters. Breakups happen everywhere, all the time. And the English people use during a breakup is often super simple, but super emotional. Today, we're going to talk about the real feelings, the common phrases, and the classic lines people say when they end a relationship.
So let's paint the scene. You're Lydia. You're sitting on your bed, hoodie on, phone face down, and your best friend Maggie calls you. Maggie's excited, like, tonight is Friday, let's go out. And Lydia just whispers, I think I'll pass. Mark broke up with me. I feel awful.
And right there we've got a perfect everyday phrase. I think I'll pass. It's a polite way to decline. It's softer than no. It's not dramatic. It's basically saying, thanks, but not this time. And you can use it for anything. Food, plans, invitations, even opportunities.
Exactly. Like, do you want cake? I'll pass. Or do you want to come to the gym at 6 a.m.? I think I'll pass. And that little I think makes it sound even gentler, like you're not slamming the door, you're just stepping back.
But in breakup moments, I'll pass is also emotional self-protection. It's like, I can't do small talk right now. And then Maggie says the big question. What happened? Because last week, Lydia was talking about vacations, photos, plans, and now it's done.
Lydia says something so common. I don't know what I did wrong. That sentence hurts because it's confusion plus guilt. It's your brain replaying every conversation like a movie, looking for the exact second things went bad, like there's one mistake that ruined everything.
And then comes the breakup line that almost everyone has heard. He said he needed some space to figure things out. Oof, I need some space. That's one of those phrases that can mean a lot of different things depending on the person saying it.
Sometimes space really means space, like I'm overwhelmed, I need quiet, I need a few days. But sometimes it's a soft exit. It's a way to leave without saying I'm done. It can sound gentle, but for the person hearing it, it feels like being pushed out of the room.
Right, and the tricky part is when someone says, I need space, they often don't give clear rules. Are we texting? Are we still together? Are we taking a break? So the person left behind is just floating, and that's why it feels so awful.
Then Lydia says another classic line she heard from Mark. You didn't do anything wrong. You're a great person. You're just not the one for me. That can sound kind, but it's also like, you're amazing, but I still don't choose you. It stings.
And that phrase, the one, is huge in English. The one means your perfect match, the person you want to marry, your forever person. So when someone says you're not the one, they're saying, I don't see a future with you, even if they like you.
Maggie reacts like a real friend. That's so cliché. And yes, cliché means something people say so often it almost feels copied and pasted. Like a line from a movie. Like, it's not you, it's me. Or, I just need to find myself.
And calling it cliché is kind of a way to protect Lydia. Maggie is saying, don't take this like it's a special truth about you. He's using a standard breakup script. When you hear that, it can calm your mind a little, because it stops you from thinking you're the only one.
Then Maggie goes into comfort mode. Mark's not worth your time, Lydia. You deserve so much better. That's another very common supportive phrase. Not worth your time means he's not valuable enough for your energy, your love, your effort.
And you deserve better is a powerful verb, deserve. It means you should receive something because you're good, because you tried, because you worked for it, or because you simply have value. It's like saying, you shouldn't settle for this.
But Lydia isn't ready to be strong yet. She says, I know we hit a rough patch. A rough patch is a difficult period, like a stormy week or month in your relationship. You argue more, you feel distant, things feel tense, and you hope it's temporary.
And that's real life, right? Relationships aren't always smooth. A rough patch can happen because of work stress, family problems, money, moving, mental health, so many things. Lydia thought, okay, we're struggling, but we can work it out.
She even says, I hoped we could work it out next weekend when we both had time off. Work it out is another super useful phrase. It means solve the problem together. Talk, listen, make a plan, repair the damage. It's teamwork language.
But then Lydia's fear shows up. I think he found someone else. And she says she was suspicious because he was spending a lot of time with a coworker. Suspicious means you believe something might be happening, but you don't have proof. It's that uneasy feeling.
And when you're suspicious, your mind collects little clues. A late reply, a hidden phone screen, a work dinner that feels too casual. And maybe you're wrong, but you can't relax. Your brain keeps whispering, something's off.
Maggie jumps straight to the protective friend label. Whatever, he's a jerk. Jerk is an informal word for someone who behaves badly, selfish, rude, careless. It's not the most polite word, but friends say it when they want to build you back up fast.
Then Maggie says the famous line, forget about him. There are many more fish in the sea. Lydia even laughs a little and says, talk about being cliché. Because yes, that line is very common, but it's also comforting when you're heartbroken.
And the meaning is simple. There are so many other people out there. This one breakup is not the end of your story, even if it feels like it. So even if the phrase is cheesy, it can still work like a warm blanket.
Lydia takes a breath and says, "You're right. There's no use for me to sulk around." To sulk is when you sit in sadness, kind of pouting, kind of shutting down. It's that vibe of staying in pajamas, not answering calls, eating ice cream, staring at the wall.
And honestly, sometimes a little sulking is normal. You can't just snap your fingers and be fine. But Lydia is realizing that being stuck in that mood won't help her heal, so she chooses movement. Let's go out tonight.
Now, we want to make this episode useful, so let's slow down and practice some of these phrases in a natural way. First one, declining politely. Repeat after me, like you're talking to a friend. "Thanks, but I think I'll pass." Good. Again, "I'll pass this time."
Nice. And you can also say, "I'm going to sit this one out." That means you're choosing not to join. Or, "Not tonight, I'm not up for it." Not up for it means you don't have the energy or mood. It's gentle, it's honest.
Okay, next phrase. We hit a rough patch. Say it. We hit a rough patch. Great. And you can use it outside relationships too. "I'm going through a rough patch at work," or "My family is going through a rough patch right now." It's short and very natural.
And work it out. Repeat, let's work it out. This phrase is calm, mature, and hopeful. It doesn't mean you will definitely stay together. It means you're willing to talk and try. You can use it in friendships, work conflicts, even with family.
Now let's talk about breakup lines. Those phrases people say when they don't want to say the full truth. The biggest one is, "It's not you, it's me." That line can make the other person confused because it sounds like a mystery you'll never solve.
Another one is, "I'm not ready for a relationship," or "I'm not ready to commit." Commit means to fully choose the relationship and act seriously, like planning, showing up, being consistent. When someone says they're not ready, it might be true, or it might be a polite exit.
Then there's, "I think of you more like a friend." That one can feel like a punch, especially if you had romantic feelings. It's like they're changing the label of the relationship without asking you. And a lot of people feel embarrassed when they hear it.
And here's another modern one. "I just need to focus on myself right now." Again, sometimes true, sometimes an exit line. But notice the pattern. These phrases are general. They don't point to one clear reason. That's why they feel cliché.
Now, as friends, what do we say when someone is brokenhearted? Maggie said, "You deserve better." Another very natural comfort line is, "I'm so sorry, that sucks." Simple, honest. Or, "I'm here for you." Or, "Do you want to talk, or do you want a distraction?"
That question is great because sometimes people don't want advice, they want support. In English, you might say, "Do you want me to listen, or do you want solutions?" Because telling someone, "just move on," can feel like you're shrinking their pain.
But let's be real. Friends also say messy things when they're trying to help. Like, "He never deserved you anyway." Maybe that's not completely true, but it's emotional first aid. It's a way to pull your friend out of the dark for a moment.
Okay, quick mini role play. You're Maggie. Your friend texts you. "He broke up with me." What do you say? Try this. "Oh no, I'm so sorry. Do you want to tell me what happened?" Notice it's gentle. It opens a door. No pressure.
And if your friend says, "I don't know what I did wrong," you can say, "Hey, slow down. A breakup doesn't always mean you did something wrong." That sentence can be life-saving because heartbreak makes people blame themselves for everything.
Now, a huge cultural question. How do people break up? In many places, breaking up face-to-face is seen as respectful. Breaking up by text can feel cold. But modern life is complicated. People do long distance. People are scared. People avoid conflict. And sometimes they choose a message.
Let's talk about ghosting for a second, because it's everywhere. Ghosting is when someone disappears. No reply, no explanation, just silence. That's not the same as "I need space." Ghosting is more like, "I'm avoiding you completely," and it can feel brutal.
And if you want a clean, mature phrase, you can say, "I'd rather be honest than disappear," or "I don't want to lead you on." Lead someone on means to keep them hoping when you know you're not serious. That phrase shows responsibility.
Back to Lydia. Her friend says there are more fish in the sea, but Lydia is thinking, I don't want a new fish. I want my fish. That's how heartbreak feels. Your brain is loyal to the memory, not the reality. So healing takes time.
And this is where we can teach a few useful emotional phrases for English learners. If you're sad, you can say, I feel awful. I feel crushed. I'm heartbroken. I can't stop thinking about it. I keep replaying it in my head. All natural.
And if you want to sound calmer, you can say, I'm not okay right now. I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to process it. Process it means your mind is slowly understanding and accepting what happened. It's a very common verb.
Now, let's give listeners some confidence. You can talk about breakups in English without sounding dramatic. You can simply say, we broke up, or we split up. Split up is super common and casual, or we decided to end things.
And if you want to be more specific, you can say, he ended it, or she called it off. Call it off means cancel or stop something. People use it for weddings too. They called off the wedding. Heavy but useful English.
Okay, practice time again. Repeat, we broke up. Good. We split up. Good. He ended it. Good. We decided to end things. Perfect. Short, clear, real.
Now, sometimes people ask, why did you break up? And you might not want to share details. So here are polite answers. It just wasn't working. We wanted different things. We grew apart. We weren't on the same page. These protect your privacy.
We weren't on the same page means you didn't agree, you didn't want the same future, you weren't aligned. And we grew apart means over time you became less close. Not a big fight, just slow distance. That phrase is very common.
Now, let's address something that many people feel but don't say. Jealousy. Lydia was suspicious. If you want to express that in English, you could say, I felt insecure, or I didn't trust what was happening, or I had a bad feeling. It's softer than accusing.
And if you want to ask your partner directly, you can say, can we talk about something that's been bothering me? Or, I've been feeling uneasy lately. Uneasy means not comfortable, not relaxed. That's a mature word that's still simple.
Okay, but what about the friend who wants to pull you out of the sadness? Maggie suggested going out. That's actually smart. Not to party like everything is fine, but to get sunlight, movement, fresh air, a reminder that the world is still there.
And going out doesn't have to mean a club. It can mean coffee, a walk, a movie, sitting in the car with music. Sometimes healing is just doing one normal thing when your heart feels abnormal.
Let's make the episode a little fun too. Some breakup cliches are almost funny because they're so common, like, I just need to work on myself, or you deserve better, or I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That one is famous.
Or right person, wrong time. Or we want different things. Or I'm not ready. Again, they can be true, but they're also easy lines when someone doesn't want to have a painful, honest conversation. That's why they repeat.
And you know what? Sometimes we say cliches because we don't have better words. Breaking up is hard. People panic. They want to be kind. They want to avoid hurting the other person. So they reach for a sentence the world already knows.
Exactly. So instead of judging every cliche, we can understand it. But we can also learn to communicate better. If you ever need to end a relationship respectfully, you can say something clearer, like, I care about you, but I don't think this relationship is right for me.
Or, I don't see a future together, and I don't want to keep you stuck in something uncertain. That's honest without being cruel. And you can add, I'm sorry, I know this hurts, because the person hearing it deserves human respect.
Okay, now let's talk about the moment after the breakup. The weird quiet. Your phone is silent, your routines feel empty. You want to text them, but you also want dignity. In English, that feeling can be, I miss them, but I know I shouldn't reach out.
And reach out means contact. Text, call, message. You can say, I'm trying not to reach out, or I reached out and it made me feel worse. Very common phrase in modern English, especially with relationships.
We also have a phrase, closure. People say, I need closure. That means you want a final conversation, a clear ending, so your mind can stop asking why. But sometimes you don't get closure, and you have to create your own closure by accepting the unknown.
And if you're the friend, you can say, you may never get all the answers, but you can still move forward. That's comforting without sounding like a lecture. The goal is not to erase the pain. It's to help your friend breathe again.
Let's do another short role play. Super realistic. Maggie, want to go out tonight? Lydia, I think I'll pass. He broke up with me. Oh my gosh, come over, we can talk. Lydia, I feel awful. I know, I'm here.
And notice how simple the language is. No big fancy words, just human words. That's how spoken English usually sounds when feelings are real. If you're learning, don't chase complicated sentences. Chase clear, honest sentences.
Now, Lydia also said, I hoped we could work it out next weekend. That shows something important, timing. People often break up right before a holiday, right before a trip, right before plans. And the person left behind thinks, why now? Why not talk first?
And if you ever want to describe that frustration in English, you can say, the timing makes it worse, or it came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere means it was unexpected, like a surprise punch. Very common phrase.
Or you can say, I feel blindsided. That means you didn't see it coming. It's a stronger word, but still common in relationship talk. I feel blindsided is like saying, I didn't have a chance to prepare my heart.
Now, let's talk about the friend's advice. Forget about him. Sometimes that's helpful. Sometimes it's too fast. A softer version is, take your time, but don't stay stuck. Or let yourself feel it, but don't isolate forever. That's more realistic.
And if you're the one who got dumped, you might say, I'm trying to move on, but it's hard. Or, part of me wants to call him. That's modern heartbreak. And yes, people feel it, even when they know it hurts.
Okay, let's bring it back to something empowering, because we don't want listeners to leave feeling heavy. Lydia made a small choice. Let's go out tonight. That's not, I'm healed. That's just, I'm taking one step.
And that's the truth. Healing is steps, not a switch. You don't go from heartbreak to happiness in one day. You go from I can't breathe to I can breathe. From I can't eat to I can eat. From I can't laugh to I laughed once.
So if you're listening and you've been through this or you're going through it now, here's a simple English sentence you can tell yourself. I'm going to be okay. Not I'm okay, just I'm going to be okay. It leaves room for time.
And if your friend is going through it, you can say, you're not alone, or text me if you need anything, or I can come over. These phrases are simple, but they land. They matter.
Let's do one last phrase practice for confidence. Repeat, I think I'll pass. We hit a rough patch. We can work it out. I feel awful. He's not worth your time. You deserve better. There are more fish in the sea. There's no use sulking.
And remember, you don't have to use the cliché lines if you don't like them. You can create your own honest language. You can say, today is hard. You can say, I'm healing. You can say, I'm learning what I need. That's still English. That's still real.
All right, so our final picture. Lydia wipes her face, takes a deep breath, and stands up. Maybe she still feels sad, but she's moving. She's choosing a little light. She's choosing a friend. And sometimes that's exactly how you start again.
Yeah, breakups can be brutal, but they also teach you what you want, what you won't accept, and what you truly deserve. And for English learners, talking about real life like this builds real confidence, not textbook confidence, life confidence.
All right, so talking about breakups, these cliche lines, and well, Maggie's obviously upset. What other cliche lines or breakup phrases have you heard apart from "it's not you, it's me," "you're just not the one"?
I need some space.
I need some space.
I think of you more like a friend, because there's like a boyfriend or girlfriend, but then there's a friend. And so, listen, I like you, but I think of you more like a friend.
Yeah, I think that's a typical one, especially if you're asking someone out on a date. They might say that, oh, I really like you, but I see you more as a friend than anything else.
So there's another one that's very popular. Sometimes you hear people say, I'm just not ready for a relationship.
And that's also a cliche line.
Or I'm not ready to commit.
I'm not ready to commit, yeah. And it's interesting because I think breaking up is one of the hardest things that people can do. And I think maybe this is why you just use one of these phrases that are so popular and common, because I guess it's kind of a good way to explain in very soft terms what you want to say and to break up with someone.
That's right. And I think that sometimes people are afraid to make the other person sad. And so they say these things that are very, general, like it's not you, it's me.
Right.
But sometimes this makes the other person even more sad because they don't understand why that they're breaking up. So
what about breaking up over the telephone or breaking up with a letter?
Oof. Generally, at least in America, we say that breaking up over email or letter or phone is not a good way to end a relationship. It's very cold.
It's very cold. So the other person would be very angry if that happened.
That's right. You just want to see the person and say, listen, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this face to face.
Okay. So this is actually very interesting because as we say, maybe in other countries or in other cultures is not really a negative thing to break up over the phone or maybe send an email saying, you know what, I don't want to see you anymore.
Right. So I'd be very curious to hear about you guys and your cultures and what happens when people break up.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
End a romantic relationship. Break up. To deliver or express in speech. Talk about. Think about something until understand. Figure things out. A saying or idea that is overused. Cliché. Go through a difficult time. Hit a rough patch. Solve. Overcome. Work out.
Let's try that faster.
Solve. Overcome. Work out. Go through a difficult time. Hit a rough patch. Think about something until understand. Figure things out. A saying or idea that is overused. Cliché. End a romantic relationship. Break up. To deliver or express in speech. Talk about.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
I think I'll pass on the broccoli. Cindy said she would pass on the offer. This offer is too good to pass up. Cliché. The things he says are very cliché, but very sweet. Cliché. Even though it may seem cliché, I truly believe that love is blind. Cliché. That movie is so cliché, it's not worth watching. He didn't do anything to deserve a beating. I've worked really hard. I think I deserve a better pay. This is such a nice gift. I don't deserve this. Tim is suspicious that his neighbor, Janet, is stealing from him. You can't have a healthy relationship if you're both so suspicious of each other. Anna is suspicious of everybody. She doesn't even trust her own family. Bobby is sulking because his mom won't let him eat dessert. Don't sit there sulking because you lost your job. Go find a new one. Sammy is very obedient. She does all her chores and never sulks.